What's up, my soldiers? It's WildBlueYonder, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about 4 versus 6 year enlistments. This question was asked by Cameron Jordan, and I think it's actually a really good question. It's something that pretty much everybody who comes into the military at some point they have to sit down and think, well, what do I want to do? It's as big as a decision as picking your job, picking where bases you want to be, all that stuff. No matter what, if you want to pick 4 years or 6 years, keep in mind that no matter whichever one you do, you're always going to have to serve 4 extra years after you're done. Wait, pause, what? Well, you're not really serving in the military. It's called inactive reserves. Once you're done completing your enlistment, so say you serve for 4 years, you're not done yet. Like, you leave the Air Force, you're basically a civilian, you don't report for duty, you don't wear the uniform, you don't go to work. Even after you complete your 4 or 6 years of service, you still serve 4 more years in inactive reserves. So basically this means that the military can call you back into the service during those 4 years. Once that's done, you're done. That's when you're actually done with the military. So say if we go to war and we need some people, then we'll call back all those people who are in inactive reserves. The chances of you getting called back are slim. I wouldn't really count on that, but just keep that in mind that that happens. Now, when you enlist in the military, you obviously have 2 options, 4 or 6 year enlistments. So you want to ask yourself these questions and it'll help you make a decision. Question number 1, how committed am I to the Air Force? Am I committed, or am I just doing this because I don't really have anything to do with my life? Or like, you just want to get out your mom's house? If you are very committed, if you know this is what I want to do, I just want to go in the Air Force, it doesn't really matter what job I have, I just want to be in the Air Force. At that point, you're leaning towards 6 years because you want to spend as much time as you want in the Air Force if you're really motivated about it. Now, if you're not sure, if you're thinking, okay, well, I'm just doing this to make some money, to get out of my house, to learn some things and get a job going, then you want to lean towards 4 years. This is so that if you get into the Air Force and you realize, like, okay, well, this isn't really for me, I'm not that motivated about this to begin with, that way you only spend 4 years in the Air Force. You don't have to spend a whole 6 years. And vice versa for the other way. If you like the Air Force, then you spend 6 years. Question number 2, do you have any college credit? If you have more than 20 hours of credit, then you're leaning towards 6 years. And if you have more than 45, then you want to lean towards 4 years. Now, you can do whatever you want. You can enlist for however long you want. Doesn't matter how many credits you have. Now, the reason I say this is because if you have more than 45 credits, the Air Force is going to give you Airman First Class. You'll receive a promotion to Airman First Class at the completion of tech school or after 20 months of time in service, whichever one comes first. Now, if you have less than 20 credits, then you're not going to get anything out of the Air Force, so you want to sign up for 6 years so that way you get promoted to A1C. For those of you who don't know, if you sign up for 6 years in the Air Force, you automatically get promoted to A1C once you graduate BMT. However, like I just said, if you have 45 credits, then you're not going to benefit from that because you're already getting A1C from your credits, not from your enlistment. Question number 3, does my job offer any extra enlistment bonuses? Some jobs, they'll give you extra money if you sign up for 6 years. So make sure you always ask your recruiter, does my job pay extra? Or do I have any special pay? Do I get any bonuses? Like, what's going on here? Don't be afraid to ask. That's their job. They're supposed to tell you about your job. Question number 4, do you think that you're going to be in love with your job? Some people, they love their job. They just can't get enough of it. They come to work, they're like running in through the shop, to just doing all this other stuff. I work with people like that. If you really don't think that you're going to like your job, I mean, you can sign up for 4 years, that way you can get out sooner, but if you sign up for 6, then you have more time to cross-train, so either way, you kind of have different benefits. Question number 5, were you in JROTC, any of them, Navy, Air Force, Army, or Marines, for more than 3 years, and were you a Boy Scout and were you an Eagle Scout? If you're an Eagle Scout or if you're in JROTC for more than 3 years, then you can sign up for 4 years and you can still get your A1C promotion as soon as you graduate BMT. The reason I say that is because you're not going to get any extra benefit by joining for 6 years. You already got A1C. However, if you're like me and you just know that you're going to enjoy the Air Force, you know that you want to be in for longer, then you want to sign up for 6 years. That way you can spend more time. By the way, I was in JROTC for 4 years. That's how I got A1C, but I still signed up for 6 years, so I kind of just did both. Pros and cons, here we go. 6-year pros, automatic A1C rank after 20 months time in service or completion of tech school. You get possible enlistment bonuses, more time to retrain if you don't like your job, more time to get hands-on experience that you can use as a civilian, and finally you have more time to make staff sergeant. If you want to make staff sergeant, then you want to get into the Air Force with the highest rank as possible. If you come in the Air Force as an A1C, you have a few extra months to make staff sergeant because now you start off sooner. 6-year cons, the only one I can think of is you might hate your job and you might end up having to be in the Air Force for 6 years. 4-year pros, if you don't like it, then you can still get out faster and you still get your GI Bill and your benefits. 4-year cons is that you come in as a lower rank and then you get less experience to use as a civilian. But that's pretty much it. That's kind of like the basics of it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment box below. I know it was kind of a lot of information, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them there. Thank you, Cameron Jordan, for asking this question. See you guys next time. Peace.